Whether you're new to DayZ or a veteran, you've probably come across some bases that made you question the sanity of the players building them. And here, I'll go through a few of the bases that are not only poor quality solo bases, but sometimes straight up dangerous. Keep in mind that this is just my opinion, but it's based on my observation and experience. If you like the video, please leave a like or a subscribe, it really helps me out. But without further ado, let's get into the video. And that, children, is why they call me Three-Finger Jack. Now, there are countless bases in DayZ that reach the criteria of being both of poor quality and danger, but I'm going to focus on 4 of the most common ones that I see and explain my reasons why. Oh, and if you want me to do a worst map locations to build a base video, let me know in the comments. Firstly, there's this little gem. This looks like an incredible place to build a base. Not many doors, lots of space for storage and vehicles, and they come in smaller and larger variants. This is actually one that I use to demonstrate base building as a whole because of how much potential it actually has. But there's a few flaws with it. The first one being these gaps right here. There are so many of them and people never fill them because of how resource intensive it is. But if you don't, you're a sitting duck. I've seen countless streamers come under attack and not know which way the bullets are flying in because of it. It has amazing potential, but so many people underestimate the importance of blocking these gaps. But if you have to block all of these gaps to make it secure, the question of worth comes into the equation. Then there are barns like this, and specifically this one, that appear as good little bases. 2 walls to seal it off, room for a car, lots of storage space, similar to the one that I recommended people use as a solo base. Some are very remote and off the beaten track, which is a huge plus, but they're inherently flawed. They're too difficult to defend as a solo, vulnerable to snipers, they reveal lights at night, they're not able to fit a Humvee in despite their size, and they have window slits at the side that can send you to the coast quickly. It's not to say that they can't be good bases, but I don't recommend it as a solo. I just think they look like they offer more than they actually do. There's no second floor for extra storage, and you need to make way more walls than you should have to make just to cover up the 4 gaps. As a solo player, you need to be looking at minimizing the time it takes to make a base and secure it, and this just doesn't fit that criterion in my opinion. Next, and quickly, is another one I don't recommend. We have the garage. This is another one that looks like a great base, and I see lots of people turning them into bases. You just need a front gate followed by a side wall and to cover some windows. It's got good storage, it allows the Humvee, and it just looks cool, but covering those windows can be fidgety and a pain. The higher windows reveal light sources and can be fired through, and this base will almost always get raided because of how useful some of the gear inside can be. It's just one of those bases that you can never properly secure, and it's also just one that takes up way too much effort to do it as a solo player. Next is this building here. Simple, small, stores a car, looks easy to defend, and for the most part it kind of is. But realistically, not only are some of them in awkward places, but blocking off this window here can be a bit problematic. I see people make these bases and turn the back wall into a somewhat gate to block the window, or worm in a block or 2 that actually works, but this can either be at the expense of space or without a real point, given there is an almost identical alternative that gives you none of these issues and requires way less resources. Don't get me wrong, like the others, there are ways to secure this one if you know what you're doing, but as a solo player you want to be building that base as quick as you can so you can get inside, because while you're building it you are extremely vulnerable. But if you do find yourself being attacked, then you need to have the right skills, and for that you absolutely have to check out these videos here, which will not only help you build your skill set, but tell you things you probably won't find out unless somebody reveals it. And as always, until next time.